This podcast is produced by the Suncoast Professional Firefighters and Paramedics, IAFF, Local 2546. It's intended for informational purposes only. The information presented in this podcast should not be considered legal, financial, or medical advice. Additionally, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed during this podcast are the speaker's own and do not represent the views of the host or affiliated organizations such as the International Association of Firefighters, the Florida Professional Firefighters, or any fire department, government, or governmental agency. The content of this podcast is not intended to serve as an advertisement for or endorsement of any political candidate or political party. This podcast remains the property of Suncoast Professional Firefighters and Paramedics, IAFF Local 2546, and is produced for its exclusive use. Any use, reproduction, or rebroadcast of this podcast without the written authorization from Suncoast Professional Firefighters and Paramedics, IAFF Local 2546, is strictly prohibited. Welcome, everybody.
What's up?
We are in episode 3 of the 2546 Leatherhead Experience. Probably against my own best judgment, I have two of my Hispanic brothers here today.
No problemo.
Yes. We got a return visit from our Secretary G. Rogazy today.
Hello, everybody.
And then, and his first time here, and probably will be on here a bunch more, but my brother Joey Reyes from Sarasota County, firefighter paramedic, Station 6, in the house representing C shift. So we're a little C shift heavy today.
C shift.
And we're going to talk about a bunch of things, but our main topic today, since we just got done collecting, and we're actually still counting money, but got done collecting money. We still have, thanks to Joey and others who brought all this change in, we still have 5-gallon buckets of change to get in. But last year we collected about 160. We're right in that window again this year. Last year we finished second in the country. Hopefully we're there again, or Fairfax County, Virginia didn't collect as much, and we overcame them. We'll see what happens this year.
Well, I got to mention, though, our guys are doing it mostly off-duty.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
we're number one off-duty, baby.
Number one.
Our guys are doing it on their own time, right? A lot of other locals collect on duty, part of their deal. Our guys are coming off duty on their own time, and so we are, in my estimate, the best. But we're going to talk a little bit about MDA today. We have Joey Reyes on here, who's our Sarasota County coordinator, and kind of heads up for all of 2546, making sure we're all going on the same page. And when it comes to MDA, him and Jiggy from the county have
I call him Chiggy.
For those who don't know, that's Battalion Chief James Matera.
Yeah, that
Battalion 3.
James, Joey and James have been shouldering the load for a long time for MDA in Sarasota County, so very appreciative of Joey and Jiggy. A little bit of the history behind MDA. It's over 70 years old now, the connection with us and the IFF and MDA. And Miss Erin Randall shared with me the story how it started with firemen. One of their own had muscular dystrophy, a kid of one of their own, and they went door to door. They were going door to door with a boot for people to put money into.
Just to go back with Jiggy,
Yeah.
Chief Matera, he's been collecting since 1997 as a volunteer.
Yeah.
So he is one of the longest standing current members that still goes out every March to collect and help me out.
Well, if you also want to know more about Chiggy, again, that's what I call him. Chief, and he's Jiggy, so I call him Chiggy.
Yeah.
He likes it. He also was awarded the Dominic Barbera Award from the MDA for his efforts as the coordinator back in the day.
Yes, he did.
And if you, I know most members don't know who Dominic Barbera is, but he was a long time union leader from the Miami area, and huge, huge voice for union members. A lot of the stuff we enjoy today is because of Dominic. A lot of the stuff we enjoy, pay and benefit wise, because of Dominic. But he was also a big pusher of health and safety in the fire service. There's a IFF award named after him based on that. And then additionally, a huge pusher and one of the reasons we have a lot of big MDA collections going on in the state. He passed away a few years ago, but his name in our world, the union world, the IFF and the FBF, resonates forever.
Oh, yes. We never forget that, brother.
Yep.
And the other thing I learned about Dominic back in the day, too, was the reason we have EMS in fire services because of Dominic. He pushed that forward through the IFF to start representing paramedics as well.
Yes, and that's part of what his namesake is on that award. It goes to an individual who promotes those services, the EMS side especially, within our fire service. So this year's collections, like we talked about, I think, Johnny Rigney and I were spitballing through some numbers, and we like I said, we still have some to turn in, but we're right in the neighborhood we were last year, so that's exciting. Because we did have a few days of bad weather this year that guys got kind of rained out. We had a situation in Southern Manatee where they had some protesters take over their corner. The No Kings protest was going on.
Oh, wow.
And
that's some timing.
yeah, Southern Manatee had to move because they just took over their intersection right in front of the UTC there that day.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so we've had some adversity this year, and we still did some great things. Joey, talk about your time and experiences with Sarasota. Like, what goes into? Because a lot of times, guys will just see your list on the social media or the website and say sign up, but there's months of preparation that go into that. So talk about that sometime.
There's a lot. There's first of all, just to give you a little bit of background, I started with the union about 8 years ago as a steward, and I've worked as a steward until the point I started helping with MDA, and MDA is supported by our executive board and also our DVPs and stewards. So when I started working with the MDA, it was maybe seven or 8 years ago. I started working, helping our former DVP Matt Seiler help with organization and getting it going and breaking it down at the end. But running it by myself, I've been running it for the past 3 years with the help of, number one, like I said, Chief Matera, my captain, Rogazy, G.
It's just G for you, buddy.
Covers the south side for me.
We got hired together, brother. You'll never have to call me Cappy.
You cover the border and you take care of me.
Yes,
as always, so I don't have to go down to Venice, which is a long trip. But also, I cover all the North County with a lot of help from some of the other members. A lot of what I do starts in January. The second the year turns, held the first full week of March. So if March 1st starts on Friday, it will be the first, second, and third, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of every year. So that's what we always aim for, unless we put out a special announcement that it's not going to be held there due to circumstances. But it normally always happens the first full weekend.
This is a full first weekend because of the ordinance too in Sarasota.
Also, yeah.
So
Also
we
the
have
ordinance.
to follow the permit.
And like you guys know, the ordinance, we cannot collect inside the city. So we have to stay outside the skirts of Sarasota County, which is no problem to us, as long as I've been
City of Sarasota. Yes.
City of Sarasota.
You said county, right?
County.
No,
sorry.
we're not breaking the law, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. But we've never had an incident in the streets. We've come, close like we always do with our own jobs. But
Well, and we and talk we've so for a long time now we've had a special relationship with a couple parties. One being the Hooters that we collect
Yes.
nearby, right, and then the other one Maverick
yes,
and
Yes.
Lulu Show.
Maverick and Lulu have always been great supporters of us. They've always announced the corners and times for us. They've even broadcasted live that Friday morning at the Hooters. Now, also Hooters themselves, they not only support us, they host us, and they donate, which they started doing even more with the cornhole tournament that they throw every Sunday, the last day of the cornhole tournament. The last day of collections, they throw a cornhole tournament, and all the proceeds goes directly to the FFA. To the MDA. I'm getting ahead of myself. And it was a spitball idea last year, which made $300 just spitballing, and we were a little bit more organized this year, and it made $510. So it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It made money without flinching. Everybody had a good time, and we still were able to donate into the bucket. This year we made just about average, just like our president said. We've made about $47,000 just by Sarasota alone. That's close to average for us. But in total, we have, like the president said, we've always come pretty close to average.
Well, yeah. Well, now that's the new average, right? So, I guess it was about 3-4 years ago. It was right when you were taking the top, taking over the reins of it, and we had a real bad down year. We were in the, we still collected a lot of money, but it was like 90,000. And I remember, you and I talked. We talked with some of the other coordinators. Like there's some other ones. Sardina from Northport's been doing it a long time. Eric from Charlotte County.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Morazes, yeah.
Morazes has been doing it a long time. There's Brent Floria from Inglewood's been doing it a long time. So we have a group of guys who have been committed to this for a long time, and we all Alex Davenport down in Punta Gorda. I try to get him on here, but he's on light duty, so they didn't get him off. But we all kind of met up and said, all right, a local of our size, with all the resources we have, that's not where we need to be, right? Remember, we had a big old Zoom about it, and
Exactly.
And it was right. We came right out of COVID. It was kind of after COVID
I
a
was
little
just
bit.
gonna say
Yeah,
that wasn't bad for right out of COVID though.
but we could be doing better,
course.
and we have done
Obviously.
incrementally better each time.
Yeah.
Then it went up to 120, I think, and then we went up to 140, and then we were at 160. And that's a tribute to you and our other coordinators. The commitment you guys make to this venture we all do together. Miss Erin, she loves us, makes sure we come, and she's there for us for that weekend. North River is another group that collects a lot. Rod and Joel Baker up there have been doing a lot of good things up there. Southern Manatee collects a lot of money too. I'm going to shame them. West Manatee and City of Bradenton, you get the shit together. So we two didn't get to collect this year, but it's okay.
For sure.
And even DeSoto contributed this year with us, their first year kind of as provisional members of 2546, right?
Yeah.
They collect in front of the big Arcadia rodeo.
Oh, I didn't know they did that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then now we got Parrish, so we're gonna get Parrish involved next year for sure. I know they want to be involved. We either have them at their own intersection or have them team up with North River, but we'll get them involved. So next year we got a lot more possibilities. But it just you guys who are coordinators doing this stuff for free, right? Just doing it for the love of MDA and these kids. So very appreciative of you guys and your dedication to this cause and this organization. So just want to say that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, brother. I love doing it. I mean, it's a passion of mine that I picked up, just on the fly because I have children myself, and I'm glad that my kids never had to deal with this kind of disease. Just to remind everybody, remember, we're doing this for free.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not coming out of nobody's pocket but ours. I mean, this is our free time that we give up. All we ask is 3 hours of your time. We give up 3 hard days of our time. And by the way, my daughter's birthday is that weekend, every weekend.
It's
So
usually the same for my son as well.
And for G's son. So we move our birthdays because normally little kids don't notice. We always have to do it. Mom has to work, dad has to work. We push it to the next weekend, or we do it the weekend before. So it's not a big deal. It really isn't. I mean, when they get older, and then when they get older, they do understand because you tell them, hey, we're doing it for children. We're doing it, for a good cause.
So speaking of that too, Jiggy's boy, how old is he now? Probably 19, 20.
17.
17?
17.
Yeah. And he's been out there since he's been 2, right?
Oh,
yeah.
name's Dominic. And
Yeah, Dominic. I've drawn a blank on his name.
I've known that kid since he was born. And
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
we both do, me and Joey. And
Hard kid.
and he's always shows up. He's kind of grow up with MDA, so like he knows what summer camp is for them. He's always out there supporting, helping, and I think even for one of his birthdays, he chose to go to summer camp over doing whatever he was, anything else for his birthday.
Good kid.
So
Good kid. And
I can't wait till he goes to fire school.
yeah, well,
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I think that's where he's going.
He's
right?
he's on the road from what Jake said.
Yeah.
He's on the road.
well, good. Make sure he gets his ass in here and gets one of our scholarships next year for sure.
For sure.
But
to go back to a lot of what we do, like I said, it starts in January. I have to start making phone calls to, Maverick and Lulu to make sure that we can get on the schedule because they book their schedule months ahead of time to make sure that they can broadcast, live at Hooters. Also to talk to Hooters, make sure, hey, everything's still in line. I mean, you have no problem coming to your, your restaurant, taking over half your restaurant pretty much for accounting funds and so on. Talking to administration also to make sure, we got all our ducks in a row.
Yeah.
And then putting the list out. Then on top of that, coming to the union office, gathering supplies, getting T-shirts, breaking them down to what stations, the guys that volunteered. That's why I've always asked guys, get ahead of me, please. Tell me you can help me right away. It makes our lives a lot easier. I don't have to chase you down to get you a T-shirt. You know what I mean? So, and, from there on, and then when the day starts, I'm there, I start, matter of fact, I start Thursday night. Thursday night, I go out with a partner, whatever help I have, hanging signs in every corner that we're about to collect.
Yep.
And from there on, Friday morning, I don't even go home. A lot of times I spend the night at one of the fire stations. And the guys accept me because they know I'm doing it for a good cause. So there's no big deal. I chip in for chow. They treat me like family, baby, and no matter where I'm at. So, and from then on, Friday morning, starts at 5 a.m. Making sure everybody gets out, the last minute details are worked out, and then start going corner to corner, make sure everybody has their own supplies, T-shirts, and so on. And from there on, go Friday, straight to Hooters, broadcast at 8 a.m. because that's where Maverick and Lulu likes to do their thing. And an hour after that, I'm in the corners with the guys. I jump in, I throw a T-shirt on, and I get right outside. I don't stand in the sidelines, as you can tell.
yeah. And with that, we have a great group of retirees that still come out.
Oh yeah,
We've
had
Paulie Dyer and
Paulie Dyer,
Merv Kennel and,
I would
and
rather die.
And all those dudes, they still come to it. That's how much and also it's a good time, right? So you come out, you give 3-4 hours to holding boots and collecting money. Then we all meet up at Hooters. We get wings and beer together. The brotherhood aspect kicks in real quick. We're all sitting there counting out money and enjoying some tasty wings and cold frothies that comes out of our local, right? We made that decision that the money and the money that goes into the boot goes right to MDA, like
yeah.
the food and
Thanks to our president, we made that decision to go back to the tradition of
yeah,
actually covering our own costs,
yeah,
and everything that we collect in the booth now goes directly to the MDA.
yeah. So we I mean, not just me. I brought it. I can't make any unilateral decisions, right? As you guys know. So the executive board has. Just because I have an idea doesn't mean I gets it, right?
It's a spearhead. It's a spearhead, at least.
Yeah, the executive board has to agree with all my crazy ass shit that I want to do. And this podcast room being one of them, right? So, I'm just thankful I have a bunch of DVPs who trust me for some freaking reason. I don't know why, but they seem to go along with my stuff.
Just goes to your leadership. You've been, I think it's going good. I think you're doing great things.
You hit the floor running. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, two guys. So there's a lot of people in life when you guys mention that that see things in you that you don't see in yourself, right? People, and you two have been one of them. We were all stewards together and working towards causes, and you know, we're going to talk about a little bit about some legislation regarding some of the stuff we're talking about here. But you guys, we were all together working our asses off in Tallahassee to get cancer presumption passed, right? You know, going up there every year. And guys like you, when everybody seemed to say, "Hey, Jason's our guy," you two were like, "Yeah, he's our fucking guy for sure," right? And so I appreciate you both.
Yeah.
And you guys again saw, like a few others or a bunch of others that saw something in me. I was like, "You guys are gonna be fucking kidding me! I'm not doing that." And then now here I am today, right? Let's get back to. So I know you brought it up, and we have been talking about this because there's been some members who who were asking, as the money goes in the boot, what goes back to stuff, right? And so you got the real stats there, but just so everybody knows, I was one of those people once upon a time where I was like, I remember when I was working in Orange County, we used to do it on duty, and I'd be like, man, what am I doing this for? This is because you see some of these charities.
Yeah, a lot of these charities are feeding their own CEOs.
Yeah,
you know?
There's an executive director who's of this charity.
Yeah,
who's making millions of dollars, right?
Oh yeah,
and you're like, well, what am I doing this for if the money's not getting back to the people?
No doubt.
And so you're going to hit on all the numbers, but MDA's, if you just ChatGPT, Google it now. I used to say Google it. Now it's ChatGPT it.
There's actually a website. I forgot the name of it. It's called Star something.
But it's a watchdog for these charities.
Yeah. It literally breaks down what the management makes versus what's going into the actual organization. Yeah. And there's a few that I do not agree with, and I do not donate to. Yeah. And I'll keep that to myself. I'll let you guys do your own research. How about that?
Yeah.
But for the most part, at the MDA, just to break it down to you guys really quick, 73%. Okay, this is a dollar broken down. 73 cents of that dollar, which is 73%. All right, just to make it clear.
That's medic math.
That's medic math.
Yeah, okay.
So that 73%, 73 cents goes towards treatment, research, assistance. And when I say treatment, research, and assistance, I'm talking about medical breakthroughs, wheelchair assistance, and on top of that, our biggest one is a summer camp. The summer camp that we sponsor every year. We don't sponsor, but we do help fund a lot of these funds go towards that to pay for these kids to go for 1 week a year to actually enjoy themselves with kids with the same disabilities, so they're not mixed in with other kids. They can feel fit in. And it's held in Umatilla, Florida every year. Yeah.
That's on my list to talk about because we got a trip coming up.
Yeah, we got a trip coming up. But anyways, 73% goes towards things like that. Okay. We don't pay for full wheelchairs, but we do pay for repairs, assistance. If they can't make the funds, we also cover that. And then 5 cents goes towards management, and operations, which is break it down to you as salaries.
Well, salaries and then even operations falls into, they have an office and the office has a copier, right?
Office.
And the copier costs money, right?
Yeah.
Because the other batch in between that 5 and so that's about 22%.
22%
goes towards the fundraising.
the fundraising effect. Right
Yeah.
there.
So when you're doing fundraising, there's signs. Right? You talked about the signs you're putting up.
Advertising, saying something. Yeah.
Those aren't free,
things like
right?
that.
Getting the advertisements out, flying coordinators around to make sure that they're getting their locals going.
Holding camps.
Yeah,
I mean, to get the
so
latest information out there.
Yeah, 22% of it goes towards the raising of the 73. That goes towards that, right? So only 5%, only 5 cents.
Yeah.
Is going towards operations.
So when I see the majority, which is more than 50%, going towards actual research and treatment, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. And so, the MDA summer camp. So I mentioned this in our first episode. This year again, August 6th. Last year we did it for the first time. We got a charter bus, right? We took, I think there's probably about 40 of us on there, right? Something like that, close to that.
Yeah, that Chick-fil-A wasn't happy on the way back.
Yeah. We had on the way home, we had a Chick-fil-A and we showed up charter bus deep.
They hated it.
Now I will say this: Chick-fil-A is like the NASCAR crew of fast food, because I look at a Chick-fil-A line and it could be 20 cars deep, and I'm somehow 8 minutes to get my lunch.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how the fuck they do it.
They did it.
I don't know how the fuck they do that, but they do it, right? So we showed up 40 deep, and we all were out of there in like 12 minutes, right? With our little bag,
including the bus driver.
Nobody's going home early today, baby.
with our little bag of food, and so anyway, August 6th this year, I'm going to do the charter bus again. Great time, come out. You get to see. So they, like you said, they go out for a week, but one day is firefighter day. So it's not just us out there. There's local, like Palm Beach is there usually. Orange County's there usually. A few others locals throughout the state come in, and we got new 2546 tents that I found.
Yeah,
for
you
us.
found them finally.
Yeah. So we will be rolling with our new 2546 tents. And we set up like snow cone machine, cotton candy machine. We have a little fishing game where they get stuff, they get prizes from that.
Just to let a little bit of what happens in summer camp is what the president explained. It's like, we do snow cones, we do cotton candy, we do prizes, we do games, and shooting water guns and so on. We're showing kids a good time, plain and simple. Whether it's in the pool outside, throwing a ball to catch a prize, we make prizes. Every county, every local makes up their own little games. Some,
They even have a dunk machine.
a dunk machine. Yeah, we do a dunk machine.
The kids throw the ball and
Yeah.
dunk a firefighter.
Everybody comes up with their own little gimmick, so it's fun. It's always fun. We even jump in on the fun ourselves, man. We skip some of the kids and let me jump in there.
Well, it got so hot last year. I was about to go in the dunk machine and hope somebody would dunk me, right? But
Well, I'm glad we had the little squirters. We kept getting into water gun fights with that one kid.
oh yeah, it got warm. It got warm. But
Oh, yeah.
you get so. I said this in our first episode. If you fill the boot, you need to come to this camp at least one time. At least one time in your life.
Just to experience it, at least.
See what you're filling the boot for, and then like Greg Howe said, if you don't fill the boot, maybe come on this trip and see why we fill the boot, right? Or it's you got a little heartache, right? I don't know what I'm doing on the boot for. What's my money? What's that money go towards? Come out and see it. Come out and see the difference we're making in these people's lives. We usually have one or two. Miss Aaron gets one or two of the people in the area that MDA support, the families in the area that MDA supports, and they come out and they show the ramps and the equipment that MDA furnishes it for them so they can get around in their vehicle. The research that's going into all this stuff, it's life-changing for these people. And, you go to this camp, you spend like 4 hours, right? 4 or 5 hours with these children, and you go home feeling like $1 million, like you do.
You do.
And then
The beers afterwards.
because and then because your local president likes to have a good time, I usually load up the charter bus with some adult beverages of different selections.
Tall boys.
Since nobody's driving, right? We got
for sure.
We got a big ass designated driver, right?
Oh,
And we go we enjoy again the brotherhood and hang out and talk about whatever we want to talk about and just have a good time together. And G and I have to work on finding something better than Chick-fil-A this year. I think we trying to make a mental note.
Well,
of that.
we didn't do a dinner plan, but then showing up 40 deep at a sit down place was going to be woo.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to roll into, even just like roll into a Chili's and be like, hey, man, we need 40.
Even though it's a Wednesday.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we could get our trailer out there and we just hook it up to the back of the charter bus. Maybe we could tow it.
Now we're going to be talking. Yeah, right. Just grill our own food.
We start smoking something while everybody's doing the joy. Yeah, there you go.
Grill our own foods up there. Yes, actually.
Exactly.
Might be onto something.
Yeah.
So
Maybe not a bad idea.
So we talked, we hit on it just a little bit too about the research for MDA. One thing near and dear to all of us is MDA. So for you guys, members who don't know, right now, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, is becoming, we have the cancer presumption. I'm going to talk about Parkinson's a little bit too. There's a couple things popping up in the firefighter world that we're now getting a lot higher than everybody else. ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Right now, we're getting about 2 times more than the general public.
Yes, we have twice as likely to come down with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis.
There you go.
To clarify,
I mean, for a Spanish guy, that was freaking awesome.
I'm an American. To touch on what the president said, we do have new studies that show that we're twice as likely to come down with ALS and even Parkinson's themselves. The MDA has teamed up with a new initiative called Champion Insight. Okay, they took a couple of nonprofit organizations like Answer ALS, Augie's Quest, Cure ALS, and ALS Therapy Development Institute, which is ALS TDI. And they got together and they have to do research and data. Okay, in order to get a study, they have to do research and data first. So right now what they're doing is they're getting 500 applicants. They're asking people to apply, whether they are firefighters, first responders, or even military. They're taking 500 applicants that they want to do a questionnaire and also do blood work because they're trying to get the research and data down so that they can get approval to do actual real research to
And get
see
some grants and stuff.
yeah, to see if they can get grants and influence presumptive legislation. That's another big one.
Presumptive.
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 Yeah.
Presumptive.
Exactly.
Presumptive.
So, for long-term health, this could be something that could be added on to, the cancer presumptive bill,
Yeah. And so some of this money that we're collecting is going back to us, right?
Well, I could say that's been going on even before this research started. I mean, I remember 1 or 2 conventions where some of our own brothers were going through this, and MDA was providing them with all the assistance they needed.
What G said, I met in the past couple of years, I've met actual full adults, in their 40s and 50s that have come down with some kind of Parkinson's, ALS that the MDA is currently assisting.
Yeah. So again, goes back to they're giving back to us, which is awesome. Part of, and we're going to dive into this a little more too when we talk about Parkinson's. So, as you two know, and part of we're doing this podcast to educate our members. Our cancer bill took fucking over a decade, right? to get into the
Forever.
to get to where it was, right? Part of that mission. So when you start off, you say, okay, we're getting cancer at much higher rates than everybody else. Okay, why? Right? Well, what's the why? So part of that mission was initially the data. You got to have the data, right?
Yeah.
And started with the data, the FPF, locals and the FPF working together were able to get the state to start funding grants to the University of Miami Sylvester Center to start collecting data on firefighters who are getting cancer, on our gear, doing research on our gear, on all the stuff we're doing, research on fire conditions, what's burning now, right? All that stuff. You got to get the data. So,
Yep.
so I remember it started off, at maybe like $1 million, and then next year we got $2 million, and the next year we got $5 million, right? Because it was starting to show some things, and now I don't even know what it is, but it's a lot more than that. Continuous research going on, and so then we had the data, which that's why if you look at our cancer presumption bill, there's 21 cancers on there. People are like, well, why isn't this cancer? Or why isn't that cancer? Simply because we don't have the data for it.
We don't have the data.
Yeah, right. So there is some other cancers in the works, and me being your FBF rep, we are talking about that. There might be an expansion of the bill sometime in the near future of one or two more cancers that we now have some data for. Right? And I'm not going to speak to them yet because I don't want to jinx the whole process. But there are some that we do have some more data for.
In the
right?
works, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And so that's why those 21 are on there, because we had the data for them to say, hey, we can show unequivocally that we are getting these 21 cancers at a very much higher rate. I mean, some of them at 300% more higher rate than the general public,
Yeah.
right? Like colorectal and
Right.
stuff like that.
Well, just to say that, to speak to that a little bit is, and maybe our members don't know this, but Florida has one of the more expensive ones because not everybody has 21 cancers on their presumptive. The states who do.
Yeah.
So that,
But, and part of that was because, one, we did the process correctly. Right?
Correct.
We got the data.
Absolutely.
We were able to
Yeah.
show this data to the legislators at the time.
Research and data, baby.
And they said, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? We have some legislators now that were there, freshmen. James Buchanan, Will Robinson, or two here. Tommy Gregory was one. He's now a college president. But I remember those three were freshmen when we brought that bill up there, and they went against a speaker that was.
Oh, they have big huevos.
Yeah, they went against a speaker of their own party, Speaker of the House in their own party,
Is it cojones for you?
to bring this bill forward. And that's why when you see our little yellow signs on Will Robinson's signs or James Buchanan signs, not even just that, just the continuance of that since the time they were freshmen.
Yeah.
We who have been doing this a long time know why.
Yeah.
Because those guys have had our backs, right? So you got to get the data. And ALS right now, that's where we're at. We're in the data stage, right? So, and we touched on it briefly, Parkinson's. So last year, our great friend in the House of Representatives and the state legislative body, Demi Brusada, who was the legislative aide to Senator Flores, who was the one who was the prime sponsor on our cancer bill when the year it got passed.
Yeah.
All right. So Demi was her right-hand woman. And then Demi ran for State House, and of course we supported Demi, and she's been, every year, she comes to the FBF office and says, where's my firefighter bill?
Yep. And
I love
pretty
it.
much anything we hand her.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And
Goes-
we
gets
figure
pushed.
out
Yes.
we figure out the toughest one we have that year, and we hand it to her because she is a bulldog,
Die hard, baby.
and nobody says no to Demi without repercussions, right? So, and she's out of the Miami area, absolute rock star for us. And so last year, it was House Bill 1545 that she got passed last year. And so Parkinson's, we're now studies are showing that we are getting Parkinson's, firefighters are getting Parkinson's 8 to 10 times more than the general public. So normal Parkinson's rates for certain ages groups and everything else is 3 out of every 1,000. Firefighters right now is 30 out of every 1,000, right? And there are actually 2 states, New York and Indiana, right now have presumptive bills for Parkinson's and firefighters, right? So it's starting. So Demi, recognizing that, knowing one of her main goals in life is to take care of the first responder community, as a legislator, took that bill. I mean, actually we didn't give her that one. She came to us and said, I want to do this, because she had been reading about it and researching it. So she was able to secure funding. So again, it goes back to the data and the research and the funding for it. She was able to secure funding going forward starting last year, going forward at the University of South Florida to do Parkinson's research on firefighters and try to determine, what's going on with that. Now, the initial stuff is this, right? There's stuff like lead, styrene, CO that we're inhaling when we go into stuff, right? So, my number one job as your president is to take care of you, even from yourself sometimes, right? So, wear your mask when you're doing overhaul, right?
Do your cleanup, bud.
All day, every day.
All right, wear your mask, right? Inhalation and absorption. And absorption from our gear. Again, we're working on that part. I get it. We have to wear our gear, and that's just the way it is, right? We work in an inherently dangerous job, and that's okay. We've signed up for this shit, right? However, as soon as possible, get out of that gear and decon and wipe yourself down. And some departments, like my own, we have the little wet naps and stuff, right? So we have the decon buckets, you have the wet naps. Get that all off. Our department's policy, shower within an hour. They will take you out of service.
Yeah.
Send you back to the station to shower within the hour, right? That's the best practices. And then most departments now, I think all of them, 2546, have extractors or a gear cleaning system.
Your cleaning system, yeah.
Get it in there ASAP, because what I have read about Parkinson's is the residuals in our gear is a problem, right? So we all know we have the PFAS in the lining and all that stuff. Nothing we can do about that right now. We're working on that, right?
Yeah.
However, there is residual stuff in our gear that we can get rid of that some departments aren't doing. Again, we're very fortunate to have a lot of the leadership we have in 2546 who every one of our departments is under the best practices policies.
Correct me if I'm wrong, G, but right now we're practicing the second you're in IDLH, you don't even have to fight fire. The second you step inside of an IDLH, you're bagging your gear, tagging it.
And if I remember
And getting
correctly,
it
it depends on the exposure, because if it's
Exposure.
it's again, our policies in Sarasota are getting updated, and now we have a ability to, depending on what the incident commander deems, we have the actual. They'll come out and start cleaning our gear there. We'll bag, we'll switch into your second set of gear.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Second set of gear was one of those things that
Best practices.
Came from best practices, and
And some departments are doing them, some are not.
But they're moving in that direction. And even if both your sets of gears, like we even have some spare gear that we're trying to, it'll change you into if you both your sets are, depending on what's going on. But they definitely taking it to that level, and we as our stewards are looking out for ourselves, and our brothers and sisters need to be just as good about it. That the old badge of honor of how dirty your helmet was or your gear was that's days of old, and
That's out the door.
And I'm not poo-pooing on those who did it before us, but now the stuff we're fighting now, it's not what they were fighting then.
A lot of it's
and
petroleum based.
It's worse.
Yeah, there's a lot of petroleum based stuff. I mean, everything in our house now is made of some kind of plastic, right? It's got petroleum in it. A lot of the fibers, the microfibers are petroleum based stuff.
Yeah.
It burns different. It has more ethyl bad shit in it, as I like to say.
Yeah, I remember that analogy.
yeah,
Methyl match stuff.
And so, yeah, we got to, with all this research, it also comes back to us saying, hey, man, we're going to research this and try to find out why this is happening. At the same time, we need commitments from our members to take care of each other, right?
So I'm gonna paint this picture real quick, brothers and sisters. Our goal is not for you to have to cash in on the cancer benefit, or you have, the Parkinson's, if we ever get this as a presumptive as well, or Lou Gehrig. We don't want you to have to cash in on it. We work hard in the contract so you can enjoy your days after and be with your family, and that's what you work hard for.
I want every one of you to retire and enjoy 25. If you do 25 or 30 years in this job, I want you to get 25 or 30 years of retirement, right?
Correct.
There's a story I share all the time about that subject. Is the year after we got the cancer presumption in place, right? It got signed in by the Governor DeSantis in his first year, and the following year we had our convention, and it was in Daytona. I do remember that. I've already told FPF President Bernaska if we ever go back to Daytona, I'm never coming again. But
I remember. I remember that week.
Yeah. So
I went swimming with sharks.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, you dumbasses. So we get there, and we had a seminar led by our own Rocco Salvatore, FPF Vice President and 2546 member, and a few others, and we invited every fire chief, HR director, city manager in the state of Florida to come discuss this, how to implement this, and
to educate them,
how this moves forward. And at some point, an HR person from somewheresville, and I forget where, but they were asking Rocco questions, and he's like, "Well, if they get this, can they go to this doctor?" And he's like, "Yeah, if it's within," he's explaining, answering all the questions like Rocco does. Mm-hmm. And that HR director who's standing up at the mic says, "Well, that sounds just like an extremely incredible benefit." And then our own brother, Murph Kennel, stands up and goes to a mic, and he says, "Mr. Vice President, I just want to make it clear, there's not a firefighter in this room that ever wants to collect that benefit. Not one."
Absolutely.
And every one of us start clapping.
And every time I look at that wall that we have down there, and I can point to what, a third of it is from cancer.
Yeah. Well, and last year, the IFF has their memorial in September, right? All the guys go on the national memorial. 80%, 80% that went on the wall last year from cancer.
Yeah.
80%.
That's crazy.
The one line of duty death we had this year so far, again, working on some other stuff with our other brothers, was from cancer.
Yep.
Right? Vic Cleveland. Right? So it's killing us. We get it. Let's just take care of each other. Right? And so we're working on the data, but like you said, even if we get a presumptive bill on Parkinson's and ALS in 10 years, that's just to take care of you and your family if God forbid you have it. We'd rather you not get it. So let's all work together.
We'd rather you be there for your family.
Yeah. Let's all work together to make sure we're going on air, right? You guys at Sarasota County, I know you got safety officers and ISO guys and all that stuff, and they're watching guys go in and out, making sure they're on air. When they're doing overhaul, right? It used to be when I started in the job over 20 years ago, we had the little 2,600 PSI steel bottles, right? And you had if you're working hard, you had 12 minutes of air, right?
Maybe.
if you're working real hard, you might have 8, right?
Oh yeah.
And so it was like you don't go on air because you waited till you needed it.
Preserve it.
Yeah, you waited till you needed it, right? And we've gotten better. Technology's gotten better. Our bottles have gotten better. Our guys have gotten in better shape. For the most part, our firefighters are doing the best they can do on that. But it comes back to get out of that gear ASAP, get deconned ASAP, take care of each other, make sure we're all doing the right thing. We're never gonna at least in the near future, we're not going to be able to avoid the stuff in our gear, right? We got to wear it. We got to go fires. We got to go to fire alarms. We got to go to extrications. We got to wear the gear, and they haven't figured that part out for us. So, but as soon as you get out, as soon as you can get out of that damn shit and get deconned, you know.
Oh yeah.
I want everybody to enjoy the retirement they worked so fucking hard for, right? Don't just leave that to your wife, right? She does, or your husband, or you know, enjoy that shit. You worked for it, right? I've spent a lifetime. I've been a union rep for 21 years now. I've spent a lifetime working for benefits that I want you to enjoy.
Yes, sir.
You know, so let's all do that.
That's why we exist.
Yeah.
Get those benefits, man.
So I got a couple things I want to do. A couple people I wanted to mention. Miss Crystal from West Manatee, she went through a surgery last week. We talked about her a little bit on episode 1. She's doing good, so we want to wish her well and know that she's in our prayers. Since we're talking about cancer and stuff, and I reached out to her. You know, I get it. She's probably being reached out to by about 100 people a day. So,
Well, I mean, that goes to part of it too. Is like she's always looking out for our brothers. And she's the lead coordinator for what is it? Manatee for our peer support.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, she's.
If you take care of us, we're of course going to take care of you, sister.
Yeah, and so there was an awesome showing when she came out of the hospital with trucks and crews out there waiting for her. So she's in recovery. She's at home recovering, and so just keep her in her prayers. I just wanted to mention her, and she was on my list since we're talking about all this stuff. So, all right, so coming up, some events coming up we want to talk about. And since you guys are here and you've been to these events, you can share. So April 13th, one more time. It'll be our 10 o'clock's our executive board meeting. 12:15-ish, is that right?
Right after the e-board at 12:15, we'll start our general membership
meeting. Hopefully,
and
if your president doesn't talk that much, we'll be out there in a half hour.
That's why I'm here. That's why I keep him in check.
And then
point of order, sir.
Yeah, upon conclusion of the general membership meeting, we have a lot of things going on that day. Okay, we have the swearing in of our officers. Some are reelected, some are new. G's being reelected. I know we have a new DBP in Punta Gorda, Josh.
Yep. Welcome, Josh Robach.
Who else is getting DVP?
DVP wise, we have Josh Robach. I don't believe there was a lot of contested races.
There wasn't.
Other than the only other new officer we're getting is as new is a trustee.
Yeah,
Jim Laurie, and he's been
Jim Laurie?
Englewood. Englewood, yeah. He's been
Oh.
he's been one of those brothers that you just always see show up,
and
he doesn't take any credit, none of that. He just shows up and participates and always helps out.
Yeah, and I was, Anthony Lorente.
Anthony.
Let me see. I'll say something about him. Yeah. He's Jim's replacing him because Anthony.
Correct. Yes.
Anthony's getting out, right?
Yeah, he's close to retiring.
And Anthony's done a lot of things for the city of Punta Gorda people.
And Anthony again has also always been one of those members that shows up, and
all the
he's
time.
Been a union supporter since Punta Gorda.
He gets the politics part right.
Yes.
Every time we have an event down in Punta Gorda, Charlotte County, for one of our endorsed candidates, if Anthony's off, he's there.
Oh, and if you need a guy to talk to you for an hour,
Anthony is
good Lord,
Anthony is
I
definitely
love you,
there,
bro,
too.
but sometimes we gotta they gotta turn the volume down on you or something. I don't know what it is.
Well, and he'll admit to that.
Yes, he will.
Hey, look, butterfly.
we were Punta Gorda was here last week and to meet with me a couple days about some stuff, and That's going to be coming out soon. But so anyway, so let's just say at one point before everybody got here, Anthony was talking to me, and I just started walking away from him. He's like, "Yeah, I know I could talk a lot." I was like, "Listen, dude, I got shit to do.
Can you
Yeah,
tell?
yeah.
Can you tell?
I gotta move. You know,
Yeah.
like I appreciate you being here, brother, and we can talk some more. But I got some shit to get done before people show up."
You definitely won't get bored.
Yeah. So we're gonna give him a nice send off because just at his time, Jim's coming. We also have nominations that day, right?
Yes. I'll talk to you about that later as far as Anita Parish stuff.
Yeah.
Nominations for the big one is since our bylaws had got adapted, since we added 2 more units, we added a 3rd trustee at large.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be the seat that I need nominations for.
Mm-hmm.
And now obviously the parish DVP election as well. So
Yeah, we have 2. So there's a guy out there listening right now who once upon a time was a trustee that forgot to sign the fuck back up, and so I need him to show up Monday, and he
I
knows what I'm
think I
talking
know who
about.
that guy is.
Yeah. Need him to show up, but
one of those ride or die guys.
yeah.
I did die.
Again, another brother that just, if you want to know who shows up, that's who shows up.
That's
that
the guy. That's the guy.
So, and then we have parish nominations, right, for their first ever DVP, which is always pretty exciting to see how that works. So,
Yeah. So just so we have a order of operations going here,
yeah.
and everybody understands, if you run unopposed, you get elected. So if parish gets their stuff together, we could pretty much be swearing in their DVP that same day.
Yeah, if there's only one
Yes.
nominated and accepted,
Yes.
I can swear them in that day, right?
Correct.
So that's a possibility as well. But we have those nominations that day. Miss Erin Randall from MDA will be attending. Because also in addition to all this stuff, guys, right after we're done the work of the local big shindig, right? Mission Barbecue. We have our bar out back. We're going to be renting the tables and doing stuff like we do for all the other parties we have, right? So we'll have that going on. So Miss Erin's going to be here for the party, but also we're going to present her with what we can from the MDA check. We may have to give her a second little check because the coins. I don't know if the coins will be in.
The coins, yeah.
Coins might not be in time, but we
It's a
definitely.
lot of coins.
I definitely
think
want to
I'm-
present her with a check of what we have so far.
We're gonna have to have a coin counting crew because I put the machines I bought years ago
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Back in service.
But Miss Erin's going to be in town to talk about MDA, get the MDA check, and then probably have a beverage or two with us as well. And we are going to be swearing in new members, right? So as we explained in episode 1, our bylaws are we can only swear in new members at general membership meetings. Only the members themselves can fully approve new members, right? They come before the executive board in between. They become provisional members until they get sworn in at the general membership meeting.
Well,
And this will be parish, right?
yep.
Parish
Parish's initial group. That's over 20 new members. I believe it's 24.
24 new members from parish.
So
And
to add to the 63, or was it 63 or 64? I said last meeting, last time we had this podcast.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about new members,
Yeah.
I had 2 more sign up since our last podcast, and I want to say welcome to Cedar Hammock member, potential member here, Cooper Flairledge. Hopefully I said that right. If it's not in Spanish, I usually mess up your name. Sorry.
Yes.
Unless it's easy. And for North River, I have Alan Bass.
Awesome. So we're again, I said this
Welcome, boys.
that last episode. I think we're one of the fastest growing locals in the state. We're doing a lot of good things, I think, and it's showing, right? And we're grabbing new units, new members. So we'll be swearing in those new members. And I'm trying to get as many parish members here as possible. I think it's awesome. I mean, as many new members as we can here as possible. But the fact that they're going to be new members, right? And new to this organization, I think that's just awesome and appropriate to get as many of them as we can. and come on in, watch this go down, get you some swag while you're here, right? We got all the swag that you can handle.
Oh
right?
yeah, baby.
Check out the hat, bro.
Yeah, the hat,
yeah.
the card arts, the gimmicks, right? And then, last but definitely not least, the brothers from Southern Manatee are going to be here because Brother Justin Markey's going on a memorial wall that day
Yeah.
as well. So we're going to put his picture and his tag up on our memorial wall. And I know the brothers from Southern Manatee know about it. They're going to be here for that. And again, we'll have food and drink, and it's a great time. And get your asses here, right? It's a Monday. I know it is a
April 13th.
A shift, Sarasota A, which I think makes that Manatee C ish, right? I
Well,
think
we're not going to let Jameson figure that out again.
No,
not at all.
not a chance on that. Couple other things I got on here, guys. April 17th, so next Friday, our brothers and sisters at DeSoto.
A vote, finally?
That's the end of the voting process. And I have a Zoom link from Tallahassee. So we have DeSoto members going to be here, and anybody else who wants to be here, obviously. We're all going to be here and having a watch party. Watch that vote come in Tallahassee where they count it. And we'll know immediately.
What time we're doing that?
The Zoom link is at 10 a.m.
Perfect. I'm just going to add it real quick.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a watch party for our brothers and sisters in DeSoto. We talked about 2 sets of gear thing. One of the things when I met with the DeSoto group a couple weeks ago for their informational meetings, finding out that the DeSoto County best practices aren't existing.
Oh, yeah.
So, rest assured, brothers and sisters, DeSoto, they're about to fucking find out. So, the fact that they don't have 2 sets of gear, they're not doing anything. They have decon buckets. That's it. That's all they got going on. Right?
Yeah.
Extractor doesn't work. All kinds of stuff. So we're gonna. One of the first things we'll be addressing.
Jason, what is the policy coming out about departments buying gear that are free of any PFAS chemicals?
So I'm glad you asked that real quick before, House Bill 929 passed last year. I just had a FPF meeting of all the executive board. And our fire marshal, state fire marshal, or state fire director, Joanne, she needs to get her ass together. And I'm going to say that right now. I don't care if she's hearing this. Been over 270 days, and they still haven't written the rules on that yet. So she's dragging her feet. The fire chiefs are dragging their feet. It needs to fucking stop. So I'm just going to say that right now, and I don't care who hears it. But you just made me angry.
Sir.
But
Well, you know
so
what?
as soon as the administrative code rules, Jameson, come in place, basically what it will say, though, ultimately, is as soon as gear becomes available, departments will be duty bound to purchase those, right?
Yeah.
Now, we are getting creative in a couple contracts because, listen, there's some people that come out here to say they're PFAS free and they're a different chemical. No, the rule says chemical free, not just PFAS free, right? So you might see some contractual language in some of our contracts soon that basically states that when some of this gear becomes available, departments will grab 10, 15 sets, test them, right? Because we want to make sure they're workable too, right? We don't want our guys wearing gear that they can't work in, right? So we want to make sure of that. But, eventually once the rules get written for it, then we can start writing policies for it. And that's why we're all waiting. Guys like me, union leaders in the state, have been anxiously waiting for this freaking rules to get written because I need to see what it says before I can start holding people's feet to the fire. Mm-hmm. And so state fire marshal and fire director need to get this shit together and get this done. And, yeah, okay. I'm off that because I'll get angry.
Word up, baby. Word up.
Fucking Jameson got me pissed off.
Yeah.
Damn, James.
Yeah. So anyway, April 17th. Good news. April 17th. We're getting
April
brothers and
17th,
sisters
yes,
and
yes.
DeSoto in. Yeah.
Squirrel.
Yeah, man. Just get me freaking mad by those dudes. I have a switch, and you guys have seen it.
All right, you want to
Usually-
cheer up?
you know,
Picture me
really
in a
takes
Care
my
Bear
hide.
costume,
Yeah,
buddy.
I'm usually pretty cool, and then management gets me angry.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
so it was what it is. But April 28th, I want to mention this event, the Ideal Retirement Solutions Group. Jeff and his group are coming in.
Oh, is that another seminar we're doing?
Yeah. So what they're doing, when Justin and Vic passed away last year, it was very eye opening to me. Just talking to members, like a lot of them were, "Hey man, do we have a wills and trust guy?" Because, Marky's an example. Like a lot of us, Marky had an ex-wife
Yeah.
with a kid and a current wife and all this stuff going on, right? Firefighter benefits of all kinds of sorts. Who gets what?
It's a
right?
big jumble. Yeah.
And I said, honestly, no, right? And so then I'm like, we got to figure this out. So, Jeff Tomas and his group, I actually met Jeff years ago on the campaign trail. I was political officer for the local. A guy we had backed for county commission, and Jeff were good friends, and so I got to meet Jeff and his wife Vanessa through that process, and Jeff does this work, and he says, "Hey man," he comes into the office and says, "I want to take care of first responders and veterans, and we usually charge $2,500 for it's a will or a trust depending on what you need. Some of us need will, some of us need trust depending on assets, power of attorney, and a living will. But for you guys, it's half off, right? So they're coming in on the 28th. You can't make the 28th because you're on duty. They have a QR code. We've had it up on the website.
Yeah.
Just sign up and get with them. They'll sign you up. Just tell them we're 2546, and then they'll give you the deal. But if you can't make it on the 28th, do so. I'm going to be there. I need a will and trust. I'm in one of those deals. I have an ex-wife and a wife and 4 kids, 2 from each wife, and I need to make sure my shit's taken care of. Right? Yeah. And so, so that's going to be here. And again, if you can't make that day, I get it. We're on duty or life is busy. Just sign up with Jeff. The information's there. Call or use the QR code on his flyer. It's on our website and social
Information's there.
Mm-hmm.
and get your stuff done. Again, will, power of attorney, living will, all that stuff. Get all your stuff figured out because you don't want to leave it to chance, especially with all the stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, it's been very eye opening for me with an individual who did not have anything, and I'm trying to work through and navigate that with different entities
Oh, yeah.
wanting their piece, right? So get that taken care of if you can. And so that we'll have that on the 28th. He's also going to supply Dubs Barbecue, which if you've ever been to Northport and had some fucking Dubs, it's up there, bro. You got to get you some. Seriously. Another event I want to mention, the the fire charity fishing tournament, June 13th, 14th. I know I've mentioned this before, so I'm giving you your G's here in front of me for the first time on this. But by the way, we've thrown in the sponsorship and that.
Hey, by the way,
Hey, okay, so we're having a meeting, is what you're saying?
Yes,
Okay.
I've made certain commitments that I need you to help me with.
so
All right, listen, not the treasurer.
Exactly.
I just do minutes.
yeah, sure.
So anyway, great event. Raises a lot of money for first responders, scholarships. It's in Manatee County. It's their 19th year. I know we debated over it on our first episode how long they've been in existence. 19th year. One of our members at the BFD, Jordan Desir, he's involved in that. And he asked me to come to that meeting, and I did, and just listen to all the good stuff they got going on. us as a local need to be a part of that. So we are going to be a part of it. We're a bunch of sponsors to that tournament. But we are one of them. 13th and 14th, and
You said June.
it's in June, yeah. So, they go out on the 13th, and then, as we talked about in episode 1, and I did confirm June 14th is a giant, when everyone does the weigh-in, is a giant ass shindig, and you got to, apparently it's the biggest party in town, so you got to make sure you get out to that. So that's June 13th and 14th, and then FPF convention. So we talked about that again in episode 1. June 8th through 11th. Now, if you're not a delegate to convention, it's just June 8th and 9th. Come home on the 10th. So, again, this is one of our big pushes in 2546 is to train the next guys up. We can't do this forever. I'm new to this office, and as long as the members like me here, I'll stay. Well,
As long as the wife allows.
maybe not quite that long, but I'm committed to the members, but I'm also committed to making sure the next generation starts coming up, and so we've committed to again bringing a large bunch to that group. You guys have both attended convention for a long time. A lot of seminars on how to learn how to be union leaders. Workers' comp stuff's there. Negotiation stuff's there. Tricks of the trade stuff's there. Peer support stuff's there. Pension stuff's there. Health trust stuff is there. Whatever interests you, we can get you a class for it, right? Mm-hmm. And politics stuff is there, right? Learn how to do all the stuff I've been doing for a lot of years. We can get you into those classes. And so get with your DVP, because at the 13th meeting, we start that process. We start the roster process, right? There's nominations that day also for...
And to be clear, just so everybody understands, there is and you should have gotten something in the mail, and if you didn't, you need to update your address, which just send an email to secretary@ff2546.com with your new address. Which, by the way, I sent this every year, but I do it anyway.
Well, I will say this. When you first took over office, I think that first mailer, we had like 100 envelopes come back.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And now it's down to like 6, right? And I get it. Like when people move, the last thing they think about is updating their address with the union.
No, sir. We have, since their membership has grown, we're back up to 100.
Yeah,
So
well, I get it. The last thing you think about when you change your address is, I got to call the union office and change my address there, right? But we need your address because we send all our stuff to you.
Yeah. So back on that election, get your DVP, because at the end of the day, if you're interested in helping, we're not. You don't have to be part of the election to go. We're sending you to the classes. But the election is literally for you to sit on convention floor and vote as a representative for the local, which, again, DVPs are the automatic delegates to that if you're an elected DVP. And then if for some reason a DVP can't attend, then we move you up and we move an alternate up to their position. So that is a giant union meeting. So if you don't like sitting at union meetings, which I hope you at least listen to one, but you're not stuck having to do that if you just want to go look for classes and help out in other ways. So
Yeah. And if you're just interested, right?
Oh, yes, for sure.
Like, hey, listen, man, I want to be more involved, and this stuff interests me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get that. Shoot, dude. Every time I go to an event for something that's going on in our local, I'll have one or two members come up, hey, man, I like what we're doing. What can I do to learn more, right? Mm-hmm. If you're one of those people, talk to your DVP right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because we gotta get you. We gotta figure out the roster, right? And we're committed. Like I said, the executive board has committed to making sure we are training up the next generation. And like we brought 60 last year. might bring 60 again this year, depending on how it goes. Which again, not a problem. You know, we've moved it.
And if you want to know, it's in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's in Jacksonville, 8th and 9th. You get up there, learn some shit, network with brothers from our local and from all over the state.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be rolling deep, right?
And Jacksonville usually does a very good job
They do an excellent job all the time.
of
And,
hosting. So
yeah, they set up little shindig parties, and they always have vans that take us to restaurants.
oh yeah,
and
you don't have to drive anywhere.
There's no Uber, right? They're brothers. They rent, I don't know, 10, 12 big old white vans. And
Well, some of them are, I think, department vans that get to use.
that's true too.
Yeah, they just do whatever,
That's
man.
true too.
Yeah,
And
they got it down to a science.
and they roll through all day long, all night long, and take you wherever you need to go, right?
By the way, my favorite brother from Jacksonville is Odie. You know Odie. You know Odie. He still remembers when he went to Broward with us. If he remembers most of
Yeah.
that convention.
Good Lord.
So, yeah, if you're interested in that stuff, please contact your DVP now because we're working on the roster. And we're going to have some old faces, of course. But I like getting new faces, too. So let's try our best to do that.
Yeah. Well, you guys are in classes, so I'll probably be on a committee somewhere.
Oh, you're absolutely. That's your job, unfortunately. So
Old school to herd.
yeah, so I use myself as an example. I was just I was helping out my DVP, so I was a unpaid steward as I work for a small department, and he said one time he said to me, "Why don't you come to FBF convention with me?" I said, "Sure."
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, right. And you go there and you see all the stuff we do. Like, it's eye-opening,
Yeah.
all what your dues are paying for, right? You like I said, you think it's just contract and disciplines. No, that's like 5% of what we do. And you see everything we're doing statewide and how much influence we have in the state.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hooked.
Of course.
I was hooked. And then here I am today, right? And I say, so we bring 30 new guys every year, and we just find one of me, then this local will be fine. In 10 years, this local has 10 of me, 10 guys like me who want to just do this then we're good, right?
Yeah, just like the president said, I was in the same boat. I wanted to know where my funds went. I said, what am I paying for?
Yeah.
You know, I keep seeing this, that, losing contracts, this and that. And I say, instead of bowing out, I say, you know what? Let me volunteer. I volunteered, like you said. I did stewardship for a year for free. Then I was brought in as a paid steward, and I did it. And I realized why right away. I mean, it changed my mind in 2 seconds. And I try to bring in as many people as I could. I try to inform as many people as I could. Hey, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. I mean, it's hard to get communication across. That's why this podcast is great. It's going to get all that information out there right away. You know, and no, there's no more guessing game. I say, why am I paying dues? What are some of my dues paying for? I mean, what's the benefits of getting it? What benefits brought me to where I am today?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we talked about even just like the Parkinson stuff like earlier, right?
Yeah.
People don't know. But right now, somebody just heard that and said, "Holy shit, I didn't know that!" Right?
Yeah.
And that's the stuff we are working on constantly.
Yeah.
And it has.
We
I
are constantly
Yeah.
trying to make your lives better.
I spend an incredible amount of time building relationships. I am leaving this podcast with you guys. Go down, we'll have a couple snacks, and then I'm going to get on the road and go to Orlando
Yeah.
to meet somebody who might be our future governor, right? To start building that relationship, because that's what we do all the time. I'm going to get in my truck, leave here, go to Orlando, spend the night in Orlando, do stuff tomorrow with my FPF brothers and this individual, and start that process.
Yeah.
Right, because that's what we do all the time, to ensure that we have friends in all aspects of what we do, and and come out the FBF convention and see that, see how many legislators we have lining up to want to be there and talk to us. Right, it's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
They show up from all over and want to come talk to us. They want our endorsement.
Yeah.
So,
They know the influence we carry.
yeah. All right, brothers. Well, that's all I had.
It's been
Oh,
great.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
No random question time?
Well, I do have one random question.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for that.
So the random question for today
Oh, boy.
is what was your best MDA experience?
Ah, that's a good one.
Go ahead, G.
Oh, I don't know. I've
Maybe next week I'll have somebody else come up with a random question because it's not really fair that I know the random question. It's not random. It's not random to me.
It's not
random to me.
He's got to drop it.
Yeah.
Gotta get Jameson. to
Jameson-
drop-
I don't
James
know
is
if you
gonna
want
drop
my
it.
random questions.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, overall, it's, I mean, just first summer camp or just, I don't know. I never really, I just knew it was always a good thing. I say I did, I got to go to the West Palm Beach when they did an MDA, MDA hosted an MDA coordinator thing.
like a
And
boot camp.
for the coordinators.
Yes.
And learned, that's when I truly learned more about, like Joey broke down that dollar of how of what all that went into. And then, it was a good time hanging out there. And I went with Matera and with Chiggy there. Back then, just Jiggy. But, just what I get to see those kids enjoy themselves, be kids, and not have to think about it. And the other thing too is maybe you're not, this part of we didn't talk about was those parents for that week get a break,
They do, yeah.
because otherwise they're round the clock, year round.
Yeah.
Someone's taking care of those kids for them.
Some parents can't be without their children, but others, the MDA does have sponsors that will stay with your child 24/7, and there is medical care at the site 24/7. Also, there are doctors and nurses that volunteer for special emergencies if they need it at these summer camps. So those parents are let know that, hey, everything's taken care of.
Of course, and that to me is was again, when you guys were talking about where's my dollar going, huge, just huge. I wish no one had to go through any of that.
Oh yeah.
But if knowing that if even if it's one of our brothers and sisters, which we've had some of our own come with one of these diseases, or their kids, they step up to the plate and take care of us.
Oh yeah.
Joey?
For me, it was my first MDA camp. I was teamed up with a little girl, and we had a arts and crafts where we built animals or something around their wheelchair. So we did like a parade, and I got with her and I said, you know what, we're gonna do a shark. So we did a hammerhead shark.
I was there for that one,
Remember
dude.
that one?
That was hilarious,
Dude, I got creative with her. I carved out the baddest hammerhead shark I could think of, bro.
Yeah, we did. I was there for
I
that.
still got a picture of it.
Yeah, I have that.
It-
I have
it-
the. It was Siler was there too that day.
Yeah, Sally was there.
Yeah.
And it was awesome, dude. I loved it. I was like, man, that was so cool.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was a
one.
good time.
It
It was a
was.
real good time.
So I got two stories. So one's funny. So we'll start with that one. So so in Longboat we can't collect on the streets because we don't even have a median, right?
Yeah.
Right. So and our town manager at the time was when we weren't collecting for a minute, and then we got back into it, and so town manager at the time was like, you guys can collect, but you can't do it on the street, right? So talk to Publix and just do it in front of our Publix, which is the epicenter of Longboat Key, because everybody at some point has
Right in the center.
It's also like one of the few things out there that everybody has to hit once a day, right? So there it is, right? So we're out there in front collecting, and we have a brother named Trey Bolin who works for us, right? So
Jameson, don't give it away, brother. Don't give it away.
Jameson knows this story because he was there. And so Trey, when Trey's, been with us for a few years now, but when Trey got hired, he got hired like damn near right out of high school, right?
Oh boy.
And I think he was about 20, right? And Trey was probably like 120 pounds at the time, right? No, this is little kid, right? And and we're out there collecting in front of the Publix, and he's this little.
Did you make him one of the kids? Good Lord.
No, I didn't.
I know where this is going.
I didn't. One of the residents was like, "Oh, it's so sweet you bring these kids out here with you."
I knew.
I'd die, bro. I would die.
And so I'm like, "Yeah, we do. It's awesome, right?" And when I told Trey that, he's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, yeah, yeah." She's like, "It's so sweet. You bring the kids out here with you that you're raising money for." So brother Trey, I know he listens to this podcast. He's like, "That son of a bitch told my story." So that's the funny one.
Man.
For me, the
that's
best
good.
one was honestly the first time. So been doing MDA for a little bit, but we made the commitment to do the charter bus last year. So that was my first year ever going to summer camp, and we get the guys and some are doing snow cones and some are doing cotton candy and some are doing the fishing thing and helping kids and all. And I was able to just stand back as the leader of this organization, and I wanted to just bask in it, right? Miss Aaron introduced me to some of the kids, and we had an adult out there that was also receiving assistance. And I just honestly, it was like a church revival for me. It really was. It was, when you go to church and you confess or something, you feel really good when you walk out. And like I felt when we got on that bus, I felt like $1 million. Like I made up in my mind that this organization, as long as I'm in charge, is going to do everything it can to raise as much money as we can. For these kids, after seeing and sharing in that, and so that's why I said earlier, if you fill the boot and you've never been, you got to do it at least once, and you'll never stop filling the boot. And if you don't fill the boot, come once, and you will fill the boot for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah,
and that's why I'm sure. We talked about some like Paulie Dyer and Merv and Larry Gibbs and those guys, and I'm missing
Siler comes out too still.
And these guys have been retired, still coming out because they've seen it. They've seen it and experienced it, and you just don't stop when you do that, right?
Oh yeah.
So that was my best one.
Oh, just came to my head. As one of the things I hold proud is even if all I could do was 1 hour one year. I've done the boot the entire time I've been here at Sarasota County every year. Even when we got pulled off the streets, we went around with the tube dude that Jiggy probably carries all around downtown.
Oh yeah,
Jay Nilsson back then, Paul Kurtz at the time, and we managed to still raise about 5 G's that year, even doing street corners and I'm not corners but store fronts and walking around downtown. But anyway, made me think. I don't know, want to do 5-year increment challenge coins, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, we're working on that. So somebody mentioned that this year too. What about it? Because we do your challenge coins for a lot of things around here.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Including when chiefs make dumbass comments like, comments. So we make challenge coins for damn near everything. So it's like somebody asked, "Hey man, when we got to do an MDA challenge coin?" So we are gonna work on that
cool.
for sure.
I didn't know. I just figured. I just came to my head. I was like, oh.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out, but it's in the works.
yeah,
So
we do.
brothers, thanks so much for being here today.
Yes, sir.
Episode 3. Talking about MDA and some other things, cancer and some other things. Next week we have some things planned for next week. So stay tuned.
Just to throw it out there real quick, next year, March 5th, 6th, and 7th
It's already there, bro.
of 2027.
Already on it.
So put it in your calendars.
He's already on it.
The 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Already on it. Joey's already on it. Thank you, Joey.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, G. Thank you, Jameson. And we're going to sign out. Thank you.
All right.
Take care.